Chelsea against Tottenham, a match that catches Chelsea with one eye on next week and Spurs with both fixed on building for next season. For Chelsea, there's been an uncomfortable run of injuries. Apart from Hudson, Harrison and Hutchinson are also missing from this team. But Chelsea are renowned for their reserves. And one who comes in today after a season of injury is Alan Birchenall, a big, strong striker. He, Hinton and Baldwin will all be looking for a chance to force their way into the Wembley team. As for the Spurs, their recent form has been promising, and their team shows Kinnear and Knowles again as a full-back partnership and a lot of strength in midfield. Here, of course, a lot of it is down to their new star Martin Peters. He should work well with Mullery and Perryman. Now referee Kevin Howley is ready for the kick-off.
So Kevin Howley gets the game away. Spurs all in white kicking off, defending the goal to our right. Chelsea just this week away from Wembley, anxious no doubt to make a good impression, to keep their morale high, but doubly anxious not to get anyone injured. Here's Osgood, 28 goals this season, to Cooke, and Birchenall's got into the middle, but Philip Beal back in the Tottenham side, finding Joe Kinnear. Spurs, who've had such a patchy season but a very good record against London clubs. They've been away to 3 London First Division clubs. They've won them all. 2-0 at Crystal Palace, 1-0 at West Ham, 3-2 at Arsenal, and no doubt very anxious to make it number 4 this afternoon. John Hollins now to David Webb. Chelsea all in blue. Baldwin and Houseman going at tackle from Mullery, taking it away from Houseman. So it's Gilzean and Dempsey covering at the back for Chelsea. Hollins, Chelsea's player of the year. But Peters beating him and finding Mullery. Hinton a little lucky to get that return pass there from Hollins, but now Knowles to Mullery. The teams drew 1-1 at White Hart Lane earlier this season. Gilzean losing it to skipper for the day with Ronnie Harris injured. Eddie Mcreadie. Houseman with an unfamiliar number 8 on his back. Gilzean, Kinnear, Beal, and a throw to Tottenham. Alan Mullery to take it. And Mullery again. Houseman beating Perryman beautifully there. Good run there by Houseman. But the pitch has taken a lot of water in the last 24 hours, and that really skidded far too far ahead of Osgood. Here's Pat Jennings. Mcreadie. And now Mullery. To the Chelsea goalkeeper, Peter Bonetti. Webb to Beal. And Mullery finding Chivers. What a difference the arrival of Peters must have made to Mullery, taking so much weight off him in midfield. And here is Martin Peters. Gilzean, good work by Tottenham. Gilzean with a shot, and a beautiful save by Bonetti from Alan Gilzean. Curling just inside that post, and Bonetti was down on it like a flash. Peter Bonetti, who made his first appearance for Chelsea 10 years ago this weekend. And what a glorious 10 years it's been for Peter. But a corner then to Tottenham, and Alan Mullery to take it. And Mike England has gone roaming to the edge of that Chelsea penalty area. This will go towards England, getting up well with a header, and Bonetti. Peter Houseman to David Webb, who in fact scored at White Hart Lane in that 1-1 draw. Webb, the fullback, throw now to Chelsea, and in fact it's David Webb to take it. Johnny Hollins with the throw for Chelsea. Tommy Baldwin to Birchenall. And Kinnear and Knowles, or rather Jennings, and it's Jennings who gathers it. Beal. Peters trying to spray it wide there towards Gilzean. But Mcreadie, Birchenall well up, Osgood well there, Birchenall again. And so many Spurs players are back, but now Baldwin with a shot, and a goal by Tommy Baldwin! Just on 5 minutes gone, some beautiful work in the air by Osgood, and Birchenall, who is such a fine header of the ball, and Baldwin tucking it home. Only his 6th goal of the season, Tommy Baldwin, coming after just 5 minutes. Now Morgan to Mullery, a swift 1-2 there to try and get Chivers a little bit of space, but now it's Mcreadie. And I wouldn't mind betting that Chelsea would swap a goal after 5 minutes this afternoon for one after 5 minutes next week at Wembley. But a very good start for Chelsea. Mullery looking for Morgan. Morgan's getting inside Webb, but Baldwin right back to tidy up and to find his goalkeeper, Peter Bonetti. Free kick given against Birchenall for backing into England. Morgan, Gilzean, Houseman. Interesting to see Houseman playing so deep for Chelsea. One normally expects to see him so much along the wings. And a throw given to Tottenham. And Chivers to take it. Gilzean, Mullery, with the sun coming out again. Perryman, Mullery, and now Gilzean. A lot of Chelsea players back. In fact, only Birchenall is forward, and now Birchenall's coming back as well, so there's so little room for Tottenham. But Gilzean trying to find Peters, and now Peters through, and Dempsey doing probably the right thing. He could be sure of giving away the corner, but he couldn't be sure that Bonetti would get there before Peters, who was darting through. And so it's a corner to Tottenham. Again, England has gone up. And Roger Morgan to take it. Perryman, in fact. And Perryman again. And England and Peters right in there. Baldwin, Hinton. And Knowles. But that's Cooke with good control. Still Cooke. Birchenall. Houseman. Osgood. Beautiful understanding again by Chelsea. Cooke to Webb. Peters in very hard. And Baldwin going down, but now it's Houseman again, this time to Hollins. Chance for him to float a long one. And Birchenall's in the middle looking for it. And here is Birchenall. On the turn and straight into the arms of Jennings. That was a good shot there by Birchenall as he was losing his balance. Kinnear to Gilzean. Now Hinton. Nice little flick there for Cooke. And now Hollins. And a good piece of covering there by Steve Perryman. That really was a good piece of defence by Perryman, only 17 years old, but what a future this fella's got. But it's Hollins who is capable of quite a long throw with the throw for Chelsea. And Peters getting ahead to it. Hollins driving in. Peters well there, challenged by Birchenall. Now Hollins again. And good work there by Jennings to push it out. The fact that he got a hand to it was good, but it almost was at the feet of Webb. Mcreadie. Flick on by Osgood, and a flick away by Chivers. Roger Morgan. Houseman steaming back. Hollins, you see, steaming back as well. Dempsey there watching closely. And Peters up in support. Mcreadie, but straight to Perryman. For his skipper Mullery. Perryman again. Taking on Webb, and Webb sticking out the foot at precisely the right moment. So it's Beal and Bonetti with that ball bouncing awkwardly just a foot or so in front of him on that skidding surface. From Beal. Osgood with Birchenall going on ahead of him. Houseman streaking through the middle. Cooke taking over. Hollins with Mcreadie. Beating Mullery so well there, Mcreadie. Hard and low, and not coming through to a blue shirt. To Cyril Knowles. Morgan. Played nicely for Gilzean. Mullery with Kinnear outside him. Still Joe Kinnear, and a free kick to Tottenham. England on the far side of the penalty area. Peters and Hinton going in. Hinton to give away the corner to Tottenham. One of his strong band of Chelsea reserves, Hinton, and Birchenall number 10 is another one, of course. No First Division side really can claim to have a stronger first team pool than Chelsea have got. But here's Mullery with the corner for Spurs. Aimed towards England. Hollins to nod it away, using all those neck muscles. And a throw to Tottenham. Cyril Knowles. Beal. And Hinton losing it out to Peters. Still Peters. Took a couple of challenges there, Mullery. Chivers to take the throw. And a good long one there, in fact, by Chivers. Perryman. Morgan. Still Morgan. And he couldn't quite turn on it as he drew his foot back, so Cooke was in to take it away. Morgan again. This time to Knowles. Chivers aiming to get underneath it, and so too is Dempsey, falling now for Peters. And now Houseman to Birchenall. Peters and Mullery doing a lot of good work for Tottenham on the edge of that Chelsea penalty area now. Cooke, Hollins, and Hinton. Peters trying a 1-2 there, which almost came off. Hollins spotting it, and this time Hollins giving away the corner. And certainly Spurs are putting a lot of pressure on Chelsea now. Mullery and Peters doing a lot of good work. Perryman working all the way, and Gilzean with those flicks of his, often threatening to open up the way. Perryman with the corner. Gilzean with under those flicks, and Mcreadie in two minds as to whether belt it clear or let it go. Decides to let it go, and it's a goal kick then to Chelsea. Eddie Mcreadie, the skipper, in place of Ron Harris, who has this troublesome hamstring. Mike England to Peters. Chivers. Knowles. Peters again. They've made no ground, Spurs. All they've done is find 5 or 6 extra Chelsea defenders are back. But here's Mullery. Gilzean, a nice little flick to Morgan. Can he turn it across? They really should have done more with that one, Tottenham. And now it's Birchenall. Just Birchenall and Osgood up. Hollins coming through fast. Birchenall, in fact, falling very dramatically after he'd been checked by England. But it's a free kick to Chelsea. And it's going to be Hollins to take it. And for this one, both Webb and Dempsey have come right forward. Hollins saying that Perryman's not 10 yards away. The referee agreeing, and Perryman's got to go back a yard. Hollins then. Dempsey getting ahead to it. Birchenall hoping to turn it. He's a good, strong running player, Birchenall, and always very dangerous, but he's really had a most disappointing season with injuries. It was only 5 weeks ago that he had 12 stitches in a leg wound against Newcastle. Martin Peters. I can't think why this first half has dragged into nearly 3 minutes of injury time, because there hasn't been any injury time. Well, there hasn't been any injuries, but there in fact goes the whistle for half-time. And a good first half filled with good attacking football and fairly adventurous football too. Tommy Baldwin, number 7, with that goal for Chelsea. There he is, after only 5 minutes play, putting them ahead. Still to come on the big match programme, highlights of the second division game between Blackpool and Queen's Park Rangers, and the final 6 in our Golden Goals competition. The half-time score at Stamford Bridge: Chelsea 1, Spurs 0. More soccer action for you in just a couple of minutes. So Chelsea will be hoping to keep this lead in the second half as they get us underway again, and of course steer clear of injury with Wembley so much in their minds. England finding Peters, who had such a fine first half. He really does seem to be blossoming now with Mullery in support and Perryman as well. Spurs looking very strong in midfield, coming forward, and here's Chivers to Peters. But a poor one by Peters, who's getting a fair bit of stick from Kinnear, from Knowles. I think Peters expected Knowles to gallop after that one, but it's a goal kick then to Chelsea. He's obviously had a tremendous influence already, Peters, on this Tottenham side. Peter Bonetti. Osgood trying to set Birchenall away. Baldwin and Houseman breaking superbly. Peter Houseman. Oh, and he missed it. He missed it, and although tremendous credit there for Jennings, who came out very swiftly indeed to challenge, to make his job more difficult. Birchenall, but it's Mullery. Gilzean, another little flick, this time for Kinnear, but Cooke finding Mcreadie, and Mcreadie feeding a poor one there towards Cooke, and so it's Philip Beal now for Tottenham. to Knowles. Chivers to Peters, and a good shot there by Peters. A nice little flick on by Gilzean. But Peters hitting it straight at Bonetti. Looks like he took a bit of a knock as well. Peter Osgood. And a throw given to Tottenham. Gilzean to Peters. Mullery. Spurs with fresh heart after that shot by Peters. Perryman. The game really has gone off the boil a little bit after that first half, though. Morgan just keeping it in. And now Knowles. Chivers to Peters, a nice little flick there for Knowles. Mullery trying to go wide on the right. But Webb, the winner there, finding Tommy Baldwin. Hollins played almost beautifully there, but equally well stopped by Philip Beal. Peters to Chivers. Peters going on. Baldwin. Mullery. Ball that almost found Gilzean, but Dempsey was there first. Now it's Peters to Mullery again. I'm sure Dave Sexton there in his crow's nest on the left, Dave Sexton, would dearly love to see another Chelsea goal to put him out of his agony. And the linesman's flag was up. Every Chelsea player had gone forward, and poor Alan Birchenall finding himself offside when he's only some 5 yards inside the Tottenham half. All right, give or take a yard, perhaps 7 yards then. Mike England. Oh, Mullery! Oh, and flicked away brilliantly at the very last by Hinton. There was a brave little break by Mullery, almost catching everybody out, but that was a superb piece of defensive covering, though, by Marvin Hinton. Yes, Hinton, what a good reserve he is. Mullery with a long and a deep corner. England getting up to put it back in again. Gilzean looking to get up again, and Mcreadie to belt it away to Birchenall. To Cooke. Going past both Perryman and Kinnear. Cooke away. Birchenall outside him. Aimed beautifully, paced beautifully for Birchenall, with a shot across the goal, which neither Houseman nor Hollins could possibly hope to get. But a good break by Chelsea nonetheless. Beautiful pass from Cooke. Measured to the inch for Birchenall. To Mullery. To Cyril Knowles. Again Gilzean calling for a high one at the far post. And that's going towards him. Peters trying to get under it as well. And did well to get his head to it. Charlie Cooke to Marvin Hinton. Oh, let that show just a little too much of that to Alan Mullery. Now it's Chivers with a shot just past the post. Into that side netting from Chivers. Chelsea defence well back on its heels there. They're not ready for that very swift counter-attack. And perhaps Chelsea just a little lucky to survive. There's Bonetti from behind his goal. Morgan. Spurs coming into it much more now, and also looking much more dangerous. And here's the chance. Gilzean, but offside is given. Offside given against Alan Gilzean. And so it's no goal. Peters to Morgan. Spurs have had so much of this game, but that's only in the last few minutes that they've begun to look really dangerous, and there's Morgan. Just a little too high. Well, if Spurs are going to do anything, they've got to do it quickly now, with under 10 minutes left. Webb, and now Peters. Chivers to Peters with a long shot, and almost over the line. Was it over the line or wasn't it? No, says the referee. But that really was touch and go. Bonetti unfortunately shielding the ball from our cameras with his body, but the linesman was directly in line. England to Kinnear, and now Gilzean to Chivers. Peters well up as well. Still Chivers, but so many blue shirts are now back. Here's Perryman. Morgan, Peters, Chivers, so tight, little room, and Bonetti again getting behind it. And a Chelsea player down on the deck in a good deal of pain, and Osgood nodding it into touch. From that view, it's hard to say who it is. But when the number shows, you can see it's Eddie Mcreadie. Well, that must be a relief for Chelsea fans to see that Mcreadie is all right again. Mcreadie has now tucked that medallion inside his shirt. I'm sure the referee would have asked him to have done in any case, because it could be some sort of danger for men when you're going high for a ball. And now Knowles. A long and a high one. Gilzean to try and get underneath it, and these really must be the last attempts now for Tottenham to pull its goal back. As we're in injury time already. Peters, Perryman, and the whistle has gone before anyone could do anything about it, and so it's a victory for Chelsea by a goal to nil, scored so early in the game by Tommy Baldwin. Spurs having put on so much pressure in that second half. So the final score at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 1, Spurs 0.